Professor, thank you for making time this evening. And just cut to it, how essential is it for Sunak that he gets this bill through?
Well, in one respect, the honest truth is that this debate is largely an irrelevance, because if you want to understand why the Conservative Party is running at only around 25, 26% in the opinion polls, then you rapidly discover that immigration is not the central issue. The central problems facing this government are, one, the state of the economy and the fact that the public blame the government in the wake of the Liz Truss fiasco for the state of the economy, two, the state of the health service and that we have record levels of waiting times, and three are, yes, queries about leadership. This is where this crisis gets closest, in the wake of Boris Johnson and Partygate. You discover, if you do the analysis, that there is no relationship or very little relationship between people's perceptions of whether or not immigration has gone up a great deal or not, and their willingness to vote Conservative again. But as you have quite rightly pointed out, of course, the Conservative Party is widely seen as divided. A majority of those who voted Conservative in 2019 regarded as divided. And a divided party is indeed one that is likely to suffer badly at the opinion polls. So in truth, the Conservative Party is at risk of making itself looking even more divided, but doing so over an issue that frankly is not central to whatever prospects this government has of recovering in the opinion polls.
I mean, the question I've got to that then next, Professor Curtice, is why then? Why are they throwing everything at this? Why is Sunak making this his do or die issue? But I know that's not really where you specialise in, but I can ask you with your political
analysis. It's a perfectly reasonable question. And the truth is that there are plenty of voters, particularly those who voted Conservative in 2019, who are concerned about the level of immigration. And many Conservative MP is concerned about the level of immigration, and therefore you can not be surprised that in trying to reconnect with many of their 2019 voters who've now gone elsewhere, the government might feel that the issue of both legal and illegal immigration, I have to remember that it's the rise in legal immigration that's by far and away having the biggest numerical impact on the size of our country, that they might therefore feel that trying to deal with this issue is a way of reconnecting with their electorate. It's just that if you look underneath the numbers, you discover that, yes, while there is a lot of concern about level of immigration, this doesn't seem to be the issue that above all is pushing voters away from the Conservative Party. So yes, it looks like a good way of appealing to the core vote, but the trouble is this has not been the reason why you've lost votes in the first place.
So it might be that they're quite focused on the voters they might be losing, say, to Reform, who focus very heavily on immigration, but not to the voters they're losing to other parties that are focusing more on the economy.
But even if you look at who is going from Conservative to Reform, you discover that the issues of the economy and the health service are more important than immigration in identifying those people who are switched from Conservative to Reform. The people who are switching to Reform rather than to Labour, yes, are people who find it very difficult to vote for the Labour Party, and that they're still, for the most part, or virtually all of them, people who are convinced of the merits of Brexit, whereas those who've gone from Conservative to Labour consist disproportionately of those people who've lost faith in Brexit. All of that is true. But again, if you want to reduce the number of people who are going to go for, saying they're going to go from Conservative to Reform, again, the answer lies in dealing with the economy and dealing with the health service. It doesn't simply lie in trying to send out messages on immigration. The trouble is, of course, is that recovering the economy and getting waiting times down in the health service is much more difficult than even passing a law about sending asylum seekers to Rwanda, even through a divided Conservative parliamentary party.